Hello, I'm Refashionista Sheri, and I'm sure everybody knows by now that I was the Gen X contestant on a recent episode of Battle of the Generations. Now, because not everybody has access to CTV in Canada and not everybody can watch the episode on their website, I thought I would put all the best bits together, so my bits, and share them with you guys and add a little bit of commentary too. So I have my lovely cup of tea here in my fabulous Refashionista mug, which you get when you join my Patreon, or if you don't want to do that, you can get one from my YouTube store as well. They are just fantastic. And yeah, without further ado, let's grab the remote and watch the episode.
Welcome to Battle of the Generations. What's up? I'm your host, Lilly Singh. This is the once-in-a-generation trivia face-off where we don't only count the years. No. We count the money. Tonight, 4 trivia titans, each hailing from a different generation, will go head-to-head for the chance to leave here with up to $25,000. Behind me is the vault, where all that money will be locked away. The more questions our time-traveling trivia stars answer correctly, the more cold, hard cash gets pumped into the vault. But just one contender will have a shot at winning it all. It's time to play Battle of the Generations.
Okay, so I just paused it there because I did leave in the kind of very beginning meet the contestants, so you guys can get an idea of what I was up against, who I was up against, and think to yourself maybe who won, who went home first, and absolutely as you're watching, let me know down below who do you think is first to go. Let me know.
I'm Tope, I'm 25 years old, representing Gen Z. I'm originally from Winnipeg, Manitoba. I'm a content creator, and I'm about to make this competition blow up. These other generations need to watch out, because my content might be comedy, but my trivia game is serious.
I'm Juice Boxx. I'm a 34-year-old millennial. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, and I am here for my redemption. Some of you may remember me from Canada's Drag Race Season 1, where I was first to go home, but today I'm leaving with the cash. So grab a straw and drink it in, because this Juice Boxx is here to win.
I'm Sheri, a 49-year-old Gen Xer from Toronto, Ontario. I am here to show the world that Gen X actually exists. It doesn't simply go Gen Z, millennial, boomer. We are here and we are awesome. Most of us anyways. I know everything. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Let's hope I know everything.
Hi, I'm Bruce. I'm a 66-year-old boomer from Gravenhurst, Ontario. At 66, I can power nap anywhere, anytime, and be fresh as a daisy. And on behalf of boomers everywhere, I'm here to tell all the other generations that for all of the things that we've ever given you, you're welcome.
Welcome to the Battle of the Generations arena, y'all. How you feeling?
Good.
Great.
Amazing.
This is going to be epic. The vault's completely empty right now. Are you ready to start filling it with some sweet, sweet cash?
Yes.
All right, it's time for our first round. Welcome to the Moneymaker. Here's how it works. You're each about to face 3 pop culture trivia questions that come from your own generations. For every correct answer given during this round, $500 will be deposited into the vault. Sheri.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
You are a refashionista. I don't think I've heard that term. What does that mean?
I take those old items at the back of your closet that you're just not feeling anymore and transform them into something fantastic and new, and I teach everybody how to do it too.
You look great.
This was an old vintage dress that was very long and frumpy, and I transformed it into what you see today.
Well, it is working. It is serving.
Thank you,
It is
darling.
giving
Thank
icon
you.
to me
Thank you.
right now. Should we do it?
Okay, so I just paused it again quickly. I will link down below to that dress so you can see what it began life as. And I actually did that refashion way back in 2013 when I was living in Germany. And now here it is in 2023, literally 10 years later, being worn on a game show in Canada.
Can we, please?
Here's your first question. Good luck. In the film Gremlins, what kind of creature is Gizmo?
My brain is having a moment right now for some reason. So I have this thing that I kind of have to do, which is kind of weird, but I've done this since I was a kid, and it just helps me. Okay. Is he a mogwai? Yes.
That is correct. The technique.
Are you joking?
So wait, are you genuinely telling me you didn't know until you did that exercise?
I swear. My brain
Really?
was like, no. And then it comes.
This is a superpower. Okay.
It is, isn't
you
it?
have $500 on the board. I'm very impressed by you, Sheri. Let's see if we can keep this going. Here's your second question.
Okay.
Which of the following is not a phrase Captain Picard often uses on the TV series Star Trek: The Next Generation? A, make it so. B, engage. C, tea, Earl Grey hot. Or D, let's roll.
Okay, paused it again there because there was actually quite a lot that was shot that didn't make it into the show. Like, we shot for like 5 or 6 hours and the show is 40 minutes. So you can kind of get the idea that there was a lot that didn't make it in. And something that did make it in, unfortunately, was my little story about how I was so confident about my answer for this. And that is simply because when I was a youngster, a teenie, I absolutely loved, I loved Will Wheaton, and he was Wesley Crusher on Star Trek: The Next Generation. Like, my room was wallpapered with Will Wheaton, when I was like 14, 15 years old anyway. So I never, ever, ever missed an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And it's not that I so enjoyed the show, but I couldn't live with myself if I missed even the shortest glimpse of Wesley Crusher in the show. So that's how I was so confident with my answer.
I think I have a handle on this answer, and we're gonna say it's D, let's roll.
That is correct. Look at you go. You got 2 for 2. You got $1,000 on the board. Here's your last question. Watch this. Take On Me is Aha's tricky karaoke classic, but what European country are they from?
Can I say the Netherlands?
Incorrect. It was Norway.
And
Started with an N.
You're so close. So
yeah, it's harder than I thought it was going to be.
It's a
my
trivia.
generation.
It's a quiz show, baby. And for the Moneymaker, it's time to add all of that cash into the vault. You're collectively depositing $4,000. How about that? Excellent. Two of you are about to enter.
Okay, so you may notice during the clips here, every time some money gets added, I really am mentally calculating because I was very concerned that the following month after this show was shot, I wasn't going to be able to pay my rent or my bills. So I really had to literally win this show in order to, keep surviving.
The Battlezone, a head-to-head fight for survival that will send one of you home. I'm about to throw out rapid-fire questions. The first one of you to buzz in with the correct answer will be safe from the Battlezone, securing your spot in the next round. We'll do this until 2 of you are safe. Got it?
Got it.
1 more of you can be safe. Next question. In the world of the internet, hypertext transfer protocol is usually referred to as what? Gen X.
HTTP. : /
Correct. Gen X.
Okay, let's just take a moment and recognize that I was the only one to buzz in. Nobody moved for that question. So I think it's clear who has worked online the most.
You are safe. Our boomer was sent home last round, just in time to catch the early bird special. And another one of you will be leaving this round. Are y'all ready for this?
Let's go.
Yes,
we got it.
Good. Here's how this works. Two of you are about to fight for your lives in the battle zone. I'm about to launch rapid fire questions at all three of you. The first person to buzz in and correctly answer three of them will be safe. And you know what that means for the other two of you. You ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. Here's your first question. Good luck. Romeo, Brooklyn, Cruz, and Harper are the children of what celebrity couple? Gen X.
David Beckham and Victoria Beckham.
Correct. That's 1 point towards safety. Who traded politics for TV by going from mayor of Cincinnati to his own tabloid talk show? Gen X.
Jerry Springer.
Correct!
Okay, there was another one there. Did you see that? I was the only one to buzz in because I don't know that, maybe other people around my age had this as well. Jerry Springer was one of those shows that you would watch if you were homesick from school. Am I right?
That's 2 points towards safety. One more and you're safe. Now, it works just the same as last time, but with more cash at stake and fewer categories to choose from. Are you ready to see these 4 categories?
Yes, please.
All right.
Okay, so clearly I wasn't safe. I wasn't quick enough to hit the buzzers. So now I had to go into the battle zone with the always lovely and stunning Juice Boxx.
Gen X, since you've added the most money to the vault so far, you're in control of the board. So what category would you like?
Oh my goodness. Let's do head over heels.
Head over heels. Now, things are really intense, so you could go your own generation for $12.50, or you could get a millennial question for $1,500.
I think I have to just be safe for the first one.
You know
Let's
the
play
Gen
it
X
safe.
question?
Yes, please.
Okay. Here's your Gen X question. For $1,250, who is this Under the Tuscan Sun actress that was briefly in a relationship with John Bon Jovi in the mid-'80s?
I can see the cover, the movie poster. Let's go with Diane Lane. Is that right? Is that what I'm reading in my brain on the movie poster? Diane Lane.
That is correct. Look at you go.
Look at
Sheri
me.
with the visual memory. Dude, you got $12.50 on the board, off to a great start.
This was something else that didn't make it into the show, but when she was talking about how I have a visual memory, pretty much every question I had answered correctly, which again, I only missed one so far, right? I basically saw it in my head, and this is something that I didn't realize that not everybody does. I literally see things in my head, and that's kind of how I do my refashions as well. I see something in the thrift store, in my closet, by the side of the road, whatever, and pretty instantly, loads of different ideas start appearing about what the finished thing could be from that thing that I'm looking at. And yeah, I really didn't realize that that was kind of a unique talent to have until I was on this game show and she had a whole discussion with me about how I was so visual when I was talking out my answers. That's something else, by the way. There are comments on this game show's Facebook page and their YouTube and everything about how we talk too long when we are giving our answers. But you know what? That was part of the show. We literally had to stretch out and talk out our answers. And I guess then they chose what they felt were the best bits from our little talking points during our answers.
Correct answers are now worth even more than previous ones, so anything could happen here. There's 2 categories left on the board. Gen X, what is it going to be?
Let's do back after the break.
Back after the break. Okay, you've got $12.50 on the board. What is it going to be? $1,500 for a question from your own generation, or $2,000 for a millennial question?
Well, I think I'm going to do safe again. Let's do Gen X.
Okay, here's your Gen X question. The Mikey Likes It TV commercial ran for over a decade. Which breakfast cereal was it advertising? A, Life, B, Rice Krispies, C, Trix, or D, Lucky Charms?
Let's go with that wonderful big box that says life across it. A, life.
Sheri, if you get this question right,
Yes.
you will be moving on to the next round, and our millennial will be going home.
It's fine.
Is the correct answer A, life? That is correct. It is A, life. Congratulations, Gen X. You're officially moving on to the next round. Let's deposit these fat, sweet stacks into the vault.
Did you just see my face there? I was once again adding up after the rent gets paid. If I win, what other bills that I haven't been able to pay for a while, what other bills can I pay after that? So every single time I was doing that and, really calculating what I was going to be able to pay if I won.
There is now $10,500 locked inside the vault and even more cash up for grabs. After the break, we're heading into the final face-off where Gen Z and Gen X will duke it out. It all comes down to this. Gen Z, Gen X, it's time to prove yourselves in the final face-off. The winner of this round will be taking on the vault for their chance to win it all. I'm about to reveal 10 categories. That's 5 per contestant. Taking turns, you'll work your way through your 5 categories, answering one question at a time. Whoever answers the most...
Okay, I have to comment on that. I looked like I was going to be physically ill there because I really was feeling it now. This was the second last step to winning the show. I just had to beat the Gen Z and then make it to the vault. Woo, my stomach was all over the place at this point.
Most questions correctly will earn their spot in the final round, and the other will be headed home. Right? So you've deposited the most cash into the vault. You get the chance to swap first. Do you want to use your swap?
I do. I will swap mascots for 80s music videos, please.
Okay, let's make that switch.
Nope, that's
So Canadian, sorry.
Okay, so with the swap, we had the opportunity to swap a category with our opponent, and I don't know why I got this in my head, but when I saw mascots, my head immediately went to sports. And again, this was like a whole blah, blah, blah story that I talked about there. And basically, yeah, I was thinking, I know nothing about sports. My experience with sports is like, yay, sports, go team. And that's about it. So I truly thought mascots, I wouldn't have a chance. And that's why I swapped that category.
Sorry. Let the games begin. Gen X, you're starting things off. Your first category is 80s music videos. And here is your question. Which actress boogied with the boss when Bruce Springsteen brought her on stage in the video for Dancing in the Dark?
She is an icon in her own right, and we are going to say Courtney Cox.
That is correct. Hey, Gen X. You got a point on the board here. Your next category is country on film. And here's your question. The 1980 film Coal Miner's Daughter dramatized the life of which country singer? A, Dolly Parton, B, Patsy Cline, C, Anne Murray, or D, Loretta Lynn?
Okay. Oh, this is, again, I was just a little wee thing when this movie came out. Let's see if it is D.
Here was another one where I had a little bit of a story, and that was in my younger years, I actually taught country dancing in a country bar. And I grew up in one of the more country cities in Canada. So I think I had a handle on exactly the answer to this question because I grew up around it. And let's see if I was right.
Loretta Lynn. Let's go with they.
Okay. For another point on the board, let's see, is the correct answer D, Loretta Lynn? That is correct. Sheri, you have 2 points on the board. You are 2 for 2. Welcome back to Battle of the Generations. Our Gen Z and Gen X are in the midst of our final face-off, trying to prove they're the generation that knows it all. Now, only one of them will face the vault for their chance to win it all. Our Gen X has currently answered 2 out of 5 correctly, and our Gen Z has no points on the board. Remember, whoever answers the most questions correctly is moving on to the final round of the game, and it's the end of the road for the other contestant. Next category is heavy hitters, and here's your question. The 1997 boxing match, later referred to as the Bite Fight, saw Mike Tyson disqualified against which WBA heavyweight champion?
Oh my goodness, he bit off his ear. I'm gonna say the only boxer I can think of, and that is Evander Holyfield.
Is the correct answer Evander Holyfield? Look at that, Sheri! Pulling it out of thin air. Wow.
I really should have swapped with you.
Goodness, you've got 3 points on the board. Our opponent is catching up, so things are heating up a little bit. Your next category is 70s rides. Here's your question. This style of bike seat was popular with the cool kids in the 70s. What's it called? A, rocket seat, B, horse face seat, C, saddle seat, or D, banana seat?
I was not a cool kid, and I had one of these seats. I was the opposite of the cool kids. And this actually was very similar to my little bike that I had. D, banana seats.
You're gonna go with D, banana
seats. D, yes.
D, banana seat is correct,
Yes.
Sheri. My goodness, Gen X, you have gotten 4 for 4 so far with 4 points on the board. Sorry, there's no way you can catch up to Gen X, and unfortunately you will be heading home.
Okay, I had that reaction, like, I was so shocked because I was so concentrated on the board and what was going, like, I totally missed the fact that I won that round. And so I was genuinely shocked, and you can see my hands, I'm just doing my tense and release thing, because it really does, when you are feeling super anxious, and through most of my life from childhood, I've been very anxious because, reasons. And yeah, I just learned to do that as a kid, to really tense everything up as much as I can. And then when you release it, you have such a feeling of relief that some of the anxiety does go away and your head is a lot clearer. So it really did help me during this game show. It truly did.
Congratulations, you win the round and will be facing the vault. Over the past 4 rounds, our competitors have deposited a grand total of $13,500.
Did you see me? Did you see me adding there? I was like frozen because I was once again tallying and adding what I was going to be able to pay if I successfully won the vault.
$100 in the vault. How about that? Gen X, this is it. Your only remaining opponent is the vault, where you will compete not just to unlock all that cash inside, but for the chance to walk out of here with $25,000. And it's all happening right after the break. Welcome back to Battle of the Generations. Before the break, this Gen Xer made our Gen Z TikTok magician disappear. Sheri, it's about to get real. You've outlasted all 3 of your opponents and are about to head into your final battle. How do you feel right now?
Oh, just such a, excitement, vomit. I don't know. So many different
vomit. You walk out of here with $25,000. What are you going to spend it on?
Well, let's get all the past bills paid first, and then I really want to do something lovely for my daughter. She's turning 12 soon, so I think with whatever's left over, to do some kind of a mini break, a holiday, whatever the heck this kid wants, which will probably be Roblox.
You're not just any mom. You're a cool mom.
I'm the coolest mom.
Gen X, welcome to the vault. Over the past hour, our 4 contestants have collectively added $13,500 to the vault. But only you have earned the chance to unlock it and claim that prize. Locked inside the vault are 4 time capsules, 1 from each generation. To unlock the vault, you have to correctly answer all 3 questions from a single generation. But it's not as easy as it sounds. The vault is going to begin randomly selecting questions for you across all 4 generations. What happens if you get a question wrong? Well, all the questions in that capsule will permanently lock and that generation is no longer in play. All of this in 2 minutes or less. Sheri, are you ready to try to secure this bag?
Yes, let's go. Come on,
Okay,
come
Gen
on.
X, your time starts now.
Okay, I've seen this loads, and of course I lived it, so I totally know the outcome, but my heart is still pounding right now. I feel exactly like I did when I was standing there with Lilly Singh. I really, really do. Okay, sorry, I will stop interrupting now.
What former iCarly star released her memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died, in 2022?
Jeanette McCurdy.
Correct. Nicknamed the Birdman, who is considered the pioneer of modern skateboarding?
Tony Hawk.
Correct. 1953's House of Wax was the first film released utilizing what new at the time technology?
FX.
Incorrect. 3D. Boomer is no longer in play. The first iteration of the Oprah Winfrey Show was broadcast from what city in 1986?
Chicago.
Correct. What country is It's Oh So Quiet and hyper ballad singer Bjork from?
Oh, is it Iceland? Iceland.
Correct. Rappers Offset and Quavo, along with the late rapper Takeoff, were better known as what hip-hop trio?
No idea. Let's say Little Men.
Incorrect. Migos. Gen Z is no longer in play. The season 3 cliffhanger finale of the TV series Dallas centered on what question?
Push Out JR.
Correct. This is a big moment here. According to his fake driver's license in Superbad, what U.S. state is McLovin from?
Hawaii.
That is correct, Sheri! Congratulations, you've unlocked the vault and you've secured $13,500. Can you believe that?
I really can't. No, wow.
Oh my goodness, Gen X. Well, it is not over yet, though, Sheri, because you've officially activated the cash-in question.
Okay, so you saw there, I was wiping away tears because I was so thrilled that, as I keep repeating, I was going to be able to pay my bills for the following months. Like, it was such an amazing feeling of relief to know that the bills that I hadn't paid and rent that was coming up were actually going to be covered and I was going to be safe again. And yeah, it was just such an amazing feeling. And with the cash-in question, I already knew at this point that I wasn't going to be able to take it. I had won that money and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I needed to keep that money safe so I could pay my bills that were in desperate need of being paid. You know, being a refashionista does really not pay anything. And this opportunity absolutely came at exactly the right time because the bills were piling up, the notices were piling up, and okay, let's just watch.
Earn the chance to turn all that cash you've worked so hard for into a massive $25,000 payday. All you have to do, Sheri, is answer one more trivia question from a random category. You get the cash-in question right, you'll be walking out of here $25,000 richer. But if you choose to play the cash-in question and you get it wrong, you will lose everything, the entire $13,500. Now, to help you make your decision, let's see what generation and category today's cash-in question is from. Boomer literature. Gen X, the choice is yours. Do you want to take the risk and cash in on $25,000, or do you want to take your money, your $13,500, and run?
Oh man, this, 25,000. It's a life-changing amount. I really but I wish I could, but I just can't. I have to take the 13,500.
Well, congratulations, Sheri. You're officially going home with $13,500. How do you feel?
I can't even describe it.
Wouldn't it be fun if we just see what the question is?
Of course we have to see what the question is.
Of course we have to see what the question is.
Of course.
All right, let's see what that cash-in question would have been. In what 1953 published novel does the character James Bond appear in for the first time?
Yeah, not a big James Bond fan. The only thing coming in my head is GoldenEye, which is so completely wrong, so I made the right choice.
Okay, let's see.
It's not GoldenEye.
You never know. Is the correct answer GoldenEye?
No,
Casino Royale, you made a great choice, Sheri. You battled your way to the top and represented your generation like a boss.
Gen
Any
X.
parting wisdom for you and your generation?
Yes, guys, Gen X exists. Seriously, it's not. There's generations that exist. We are the smallest. We are the middle child, but we are here and we are so awesome.
Well, there you have it. Well said. They exist. That's news to me. But that's it for today. Remember, you can't pick your age, but you can pick your battles. See you next time on Battle of the Generations.
So there you have it, guys. I actually did it. This little Gen X here actually won Battle of the Generations. And I was actually the first Gen X winner. And there's not a lot of episodes left, so I am curious to see if I was the only Gen X winner. We'll have to keep watching and see, because there's really not a lot left. And that would be, I guess, some pretty awesome bragging rights there to be the only Gen X to win Battle of the Generations. Now, as I've said numerous times, this win of this game show really did come at a fantastic time, because the bank account was overdrawn and, as I said, the bills were piling up, and the show was so wonderful. They sent me out my winning check, which I actually have here, and I framed it. La la, here it is. And I framed it with the picture of us, and I managed to find some fabric that's kind of like the stripes on the show here. So this definitely has a pride of place in my little studio now. But they were kind enough to send me my check right away, which was fantastic, because then so many things were able to get paid. So unfortunately, we were not able to take a trip anywhere because there just wasn't enough money left for that. And I did need to, of course, have some held back so we could, you know, be comfortable for at least another month or so. But she did have a wonderful birthday at the cinema and the arcade with some of her friends. So it was still lovely to be able to do that for her. And they all had a great time. A great time was had by all, and that is what is important. Now, you may be thinking to yourself that, oh, this was such a great opportunity and it got me out there and everything. And you know what? I think it was a great opportunity. It still is a great opportunity. Unfortunately, I haven't really seen an uptick in subscribers or anything like that since the show aired. But I am, of course, writing to the people that I met there and the producers, etc., in the hopes that somebody might allow me to be on another show. I don't know. Let's keep our fingers crossed. But I'm only one person, and I am a one-woman show, and I do absolutely everything. So it would be wonderful if you guys could just help me out a little bit and take a minute or two and engage with my videos, my content across, you know, my channel, my social media, just kind of everywhere. Share the tutorials of mine that you love with your online circles. You know, get me out there, right? I exist. Let everybody know I exist and I'm awesome. And I teach anyone who wants to learn how to upcycle and refashion your wardrobe, your home decor, with basically no budget and no special skills required. So yeah, I think I'm pretty cool and I deserve to be featured and be an expert on some of the locally filmed talk shows and stuff. So that's something else you guys can do. I will link them down below, and maybe you want to write to them and say, hey, put Refashionista Sheri on your show, because I'm now part of the CTV family, and there are a few shows on CTV that I think I would be great for. I even went to these shows on my 50th birthday, and yeah, I'll link that video down below for you so you can see me in the audience on these shows. But as I said, please do give a gal a hand here and engage with the content, share my content. It's free. It costs you guys nothing to do, but it really, really does help me behind the scenes with my numbers. And the more I can be seen and get out there, the more successful I can be. And then I won't have to win game shows and, you know, to pay my bills.
Hawaii.
That is correct, Sheri! Congratulations, you've unlocked the vault and you've secured $13,500.
I just won Battle of the Generations, like the Gen X. The Gen X won. So I have this thing that I kind of have to do, which is kind of weird, but I've done this since I was a kid, and it just helps me. Okay, is he a Mogwai?
Yes, that is correct.
Throughout the entire show, I was doing my little trick there. I was trying to hide it, but there was so many times when you're waiting for that question to come up, even if it's just a couple of seconds, and you're just second guessing yourself and you're just not sure. But you know what? I did it. Now, and then it comes. So what do I get to do with the money? I mean, I think just like a lot of people on the planet right now, everything is getting more expensive, and so the first thing is bills are getting paid. And then I'm going to turn to my lovely daughter and say, hey girlie, what do you want to do for your 12th birthday? And what the heck ever she wants, that is what we're going to do. So I'm assuming it's going to be a trip somewhere. Let's hope it's somewhere close, like Montreal would be lovely, but I'm sure it's going to be somewhere a little bit more exotic.
You're not just any mom, you're a cool mom.
I'm the coolest mom.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.